So you might as well learn that
That's right.
You don't want nothing, Brent?
Try to look back.
He saw the playground and they got loaded off.
It could be any place, you know what I'm saying?
How long ago was it? How long did it last?
We start from depending on the class. So if you come to GCC, that's gonna start at 1 o'clock. The knowledge hour. We're gonna build usually from then. We usually leave around power hour, close at the power hour. Usually leave, we go to another spot and sit down. We build some more. We usually eat, get the God degree, we get the food, and we eat and continue to build. And a lot of times we're dealing with business, nation business. We're dealing with aspects of self, and just at the same time trying to get to know one another as men and women. So finding out what this brother does, what type of resources this brother's bringing to the table. That's really what it's about.
There's a lot of heads like out here, like 5%ers and stuff.
Out here, you got different brothers. A lot of brothers have knowledge, this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They have access to this knowledge. Now it's different. So a lot in terms of being true and living and being sharp, that right there, that really varies. So you got some brothers that are very sharp and are applying the mathematics and applying that to their degrees, and they living this out on a day-to-day basis. A lot of people come into this. A lot of times they're attracted through music, and that's basically what they want to do. They want to take these lessons, take the jewels, and they want to use it to be able to rap about it, or they want to go and spit it to some woman. So right now, that's what we're doing. We're in the process of cleaning this area up. Yeah. We come from wide variety, set of diverse backgrounds.
Because until now, it's like I've probably been like 3-5%ers, and like one was from like DC and stuff. He was out here. Then I met one at the mosque probably like a couple years ago. Like then I met one up in he claimed to be a 5%er, but like he was doing some other stuff, like it.
Right.
Ain't judging the brother, nothing like that, but
True indeed.
Yeah.
That's you trying to get this knowledge. That's not necessarily the person that you want to learn from at that time. We still deal with the best part. We say the understanding is the best part. And so that way, regardless of what a man is dealing with at that point in his life, if he's sitting there, he got something to teach. Doesn't matter where he's coming from. We're supposed to do what? We're supposed to do the wisdom, draw that knowledge up, so we come up with that understanding for ourselves. Because he has his own understanding, and his understanding deals with being able to coincide with some of the negative aspects that he's involved with. Another man's understanding might feel that, look, I'm not gonna mess with that shit at all. I want to deal with this, be able to present a better situation for my family, for my people, for my community, and that's what it's about. But a lot of this is a process of development. So a lot of the guys that you hear today, you hear a lot of brothers you hear today that may not be doing those. Some brothers have done those things and they no longer are doing them. Other brothers are not, and they may end up doing it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just life. That's what we caught up in out here. And the science.
You wanna hold this since you ain't building?
Mathematics enables us to elevate above the six with a social element that we are
you still want to keep eating?
Involved in on a day-to-day basis. The application of mathematics is
finish your food.
Very important because that enables
Finish your food, bro.
Mathematics is really science of relations and making these connections between different elements that exist out here. And by utilizing the mathematics, we make sense of it for ourselves. And once we make sense of it for ourselves, we're able to manipulate the system for our advantage, our benefit. Not necessarily saying that to take this thing over, but it's to say that all of these things out here, man, all of these things are able to be manipulated. And we're able to change these things, but we have to realize that we manifest that power to bring forth that supreme state, which is the state of godliness, that state of elevation, which some call heaven. You know what I'm saying? By the destruction of the devil, running the devil away from among us, and be able to live mentally in a mental heaven. That's a state of peace, which is the absence of all confusion.
Well, let me throw this at you, man. All right, so like I know some followers of like Dr. York, and then from the let's see, Noble Drew Ali's camp, and then like most of my friends like they're up in the Nation of Islam and stuff like that. Now let me ask you this: would it be good like to have a united front? I mean, even though we, I guess like all have knowledge, but like we just like look at it from like a different way, kind of. So you think it's good like to have a united front to try to tackle this, or like is it good just to be like up in our own little separate camps and stuff? Because like my man right there, he make music and stuff, so like he runs across Hebrews, people from like Dr. York and everybody and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody seems cool, but it just seems like, you know, it's just like what I know is what I know, and you know, fuck everybody else. I mean, excuse my language and stuff, but I don't know, man. I be wondering about that sometimes, cause you know, like, I think it would be best to have like, I mean, we don't all gotta like agree on everything, but have like, you know, a united front when we like tackling, you know, like a problem, like instead of just on some self stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro.
Like, man, that's that right, but that right there,
Peace.
that's about the
Peace.
government.
What's your name?
My name's Sincere Farm of the Law.
Is that a name or a righteous name?
That's a righteous name.
How you see that?
Right?
Sincere, to be honest,
What you saying?
dealing
is
the
that
truth.
Really,
You
what
can't
you're
deal in
saying
the
is
truth
that
unless
at
you're
this
dealing
point in
reality.
time,
Reality
you're
is
immature.
dealing, measuring
Children,
the
when
real
you have
world
children,
around
you.
you.
Together,
You
they
know,
have
your
to learn
problems,
to
your
play with each other.
issues,
They're
get them straight.
They can grow.
You know, refinement,
and then they can grow to the point
improving
where they know
all
how
the
to
things
share and
around
learn how
me.
to
You know,
appreciate
everybody
each other's
around me.
perspective.
You
And
know,
so at this
so
point, I
the
say
law
that
is
for the
the
majority,
supreme black man. You know,
we're
so
still in this
What part of C-Medina you holding down?
I'm holding down High Park, 51st. You know, power knowledge. Where we at right now, this my hood. I'm holding this down.
How long you been a Nation of Guards?
I've been a Nation of God since
mathematics says
since 1995. 95.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How did you get the knowledge?
I got the knowledge running in the gods like Allah Jihad and you know, True Born Freedom.
When I meet another brother,
You know, this guy named Rakim Allah who walked past me one day. He said, "Peace, God," and I said, "Why you call me God?" You know, he said, "Because I see God in you." And from that point on, I was studying, trying to put it together, meeting all these brothers, you know, some fake, you know, and the real, you know, the true and living came to light. So that's how I'm dealing with it now. You
What's
know.
today's math?
Today's math is knowledge, build, destroy, all being born to born.
How you see that?
Word, okay, let's build. Alright, you know, I use my knowledge to build in order to born what I want to see, what a civilized black man want to see in this community. You know, I use what I know as opposed to what I believe, you know, in order to build. I don't build on no mystery, you know. I use what I can show and prove. Knowledge is a summation of something. You know, so and the know is to acquire. So when I build, you know, I use the summation of what's necessary to build, you know, in order to born, which is the highest form of existence known, which is life. You know, and that's peace.
What would you say your goal in the Nation of Gods and Earths is?
To civilize the uncivilized, you know, to bring order, organization, and the supreme intelligence of God to C-Medina. You know, cats out here, you know, they got the hard, you know, they some hard mugs out here in C-Medina, you know. But you know, boy, you true, these cats ain't got no knowledge of self. A lot of them don't. So they out here, they wild and stuff, looking for something. They don't know exactly what they want. So you know, I'm out here to show them. It's a show. That's real.
How you see this nation out here in C-Medina in Chicago in the next 5 years? Where you expect us to be?
I expect to have more brothers, sisters, babies around us that can show and prove what they stand on. You know, so no cat can shake them. You know, no devil can shake them. You know, no mysterious cat can shake them. You know what I mean? Standing on their stuff to the point where we showing and proving with businesses, with you know, just dealing with each other as a family. I want to, like, this family day is going to be about 5 times as big, if not more, you know, in 5 years for sure. I'm looking to see it be like 100 times bigger. Word up, and that's peace.
Who would you say, who you remember or know as a non-born in this city?
Man, okay. True and living. True and living.
True indeed.
True and living that can show and prove what they were standing on, what they was trying to achieve in this city. Definitely Allah Jihad. You know, I'm gonna bear witness to powerful King Allah. You know, I'm gonna bear witness to the twins, Ramik Allah and Wise Divine. You know, I'm gonna bear witness to.
Yeah, the twins, they do add on, but I'm talking about like the non-born, those who were here from the 80s to the early 90s.
There ain't very many. There ain't very many.
Right.
I don't know if I can go up to 9.
That's right, because there's only some of them still, there's not that many still building.
Yeah, see that? Back then, yeah, it was a big crew back in the early 90s and stuff. But cats, they want to fight each other and stuff.
So, one of the 9 born you named, which is myself, Allah Jihad, from your own, from what your perception is, all the controversy that's surrounding him, as far as aggressive God out here serving physical justice to brothers, beating brothers down. He's snake, devil, all this. He act like a dictator out here. What would you say about all that stuff? Speak on his character.
All right, okay, peace. I'm gonna say this. You know, you gotta be strong out here. You gotta be strong within yourself. You got knowledge within yourself. You know, my physical father said this morning, strong will survive.
Sure indeed.
You know, definitely we talk to each other hard. You know, we talk to each other hard. You know, you mess up, I'm gonna say you messed up. I want my brother to say I messed up.
So you don't bear witness to him serving physical justice to anyone?
I seen him. I seen it. I seen it happen more than once. I didn't see it happen. You know, cats out here that got high. I call them high heads attracting the feds. You know, like we got to deal with each other though. This science, we got the greatest science that I've ever seen. You know, as far as dealing with problems in ourselves. That's say your brother that you dealing with, you can't deal with him. You want to bring physical harm to him. He the closest thing you got to a brother. You know, so I'm gonna do extra hard. I'm gonna do 100. I'm gonna do more than I would do for an 85 to get along with this cat. Really, because he's more qualified to bring civilization than an 85. Supposedly, if he's living this science out, you know, supreme mathematics. You know, dealing in 120 lessons. You know, set down by Allah the Father and justice. You know, that's a beautiful science.
How long you been studying?
You know, it adds up. You know, to dealing knowledge as opposed to dealing in belief. Take things from knowledge to born to dealing light. The highest form of existence known, not the highest form of existence believed in. You know, don't nobody else deal in that. You know, they can deal with the preacher better than, you know, brother told me I could deal with the 85 better than I can deal with my brother. I said, that's because your brother's strong as you are. So you need to get yourself strong so you can deal with your brother. You know, in that way, we won't be stopped. We won't be stopped. Because these cats is out here haywire. They haywire, you know. They just dealing on their appetites. They're 85, you know, so. You know, we dealing in civilization. We dealing in putting men on their square, putting women on their square. You know, making sure they can show and prove, not out-talk somebody, show and prove. That's what the true builder's gonna be able to do. They're gonna be able to show and prove what they're standing on. You know, and that's what I'm talking about. Do or die, that's what I'm talking about, for real. You know, so that's what cats need to be on. We need to be on, you know, I told the old guy, you know. You know, I ain't gonna say no names or nothing, but you know, he was spitting something. Guys around him wasn't seeing it, so I said, "Well, show and prove." I ain't hear nobody else say that. I'm like, but that's you know, basic foundation of this nation. That's what we do that don't nobody else do. We can show and prove what we say. You know, not out talk somebody. Show and prove through knowledge. You know, through wisdom, through understanding. You know, and that's our culture. You know, word up. And that add up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about nothing else.
So what's your name again, God? What's your righteous name?
My name is Sincere Refinement Allah.
Peace.
Peace.
Everybody's the same structure.
Peace, God.
Has a little different doctrine, but
what's your righteous name?
About the same. It's all about the same.
getting salvation in your own land. Hold on, man. At the end of the day, you know.
When we come back to you?
Yeah.
When we come back to you?
Give me that camera, man.
Wow. I got food in my mouth and stuff.
Peace, God.
I'm the notorious Jihad, what all your babies and mothers and fathers heard about.
What's the science, God? Why don't you break down the history of C-Medina?
Oh man, you just put me on the spot. I would say as far as my history, I can't speak for the rest of the 9 born. As far as my history, of course, I was born in this nation in 1976. And when I was in grammar school, I used to get chased home from school. You know, they used to take my money, toys and all that, my little G.I. Joes. And around the neighborhood, I used to hang with a lot of young cats my age, little young brothers. And my father was like, yo, them young brothers you running with, are you teaching them? I was like, nah, I ain't got no knowledge. You ain't really teach me nothing to teach them. He said, you know the black man is God, right? I was like, yeah. He said, and teach them that. So next thing I know, I started teaching the young brothers in my area, my neighborhood. Next thing you know, the older people in the neighborhood was like, yo, that's a gang. Because I used to have them all running with me. And when we all go to school doing recess, and I used to have almost half the whole playground, used to sit in a circle and listen to me. So during the parents and teachers meeting, they told my mother was like, some kind of gang he done formed because he got all their attention when they come to the playground. But at the same time, I was teaching the young mathematics, the science of mathematics, and the alphabets. You know what I'm saying? I was teaching them that they guard within themselves. So I was teaching brothers on the south side of Chicago building. They claim there's others came here before us in the 70s and the 60s, but they ain't did shit. Right now, there's an elder right now in a Stateville Penitentiary serving 25 to life. So all they was on when they came here from New York was like selling drugs and killing people. You know what I'm saying? And snorting cocaine. You know what I'm saying? That's not teaching the babies, because if they was out here teaching, their legacy would be going on right now. We didn't have to step up in the 80s and get up and do something about this. You know what I'm saying? We doing good things out here. We cooking out, feeding everybody, building. Yeah. A lot of people ain't came and turned out, but it's cool. We enjoying ourselves. Classes, parliaments, 120 classes. We want to be the next pace setters when you look at it, for the simple fact that we plan on buying property. Not just a school here in March and next year. We want to buy property. You know what I'm saying? You got tax properties out here. You can just get the property and it's yours free and clear. You don't have to get no loan from a bank. We want to have barbershops. When Elijah Muhammad came on the scene, he had restaurants, barbershops, cleaners, everything. And we the only nation, man, all 50 states and all across the globe, they only got a few schools. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kept doing it wrong, like leasing and renting a school. You can't pay the lease, you can't pay the rent, you lose it. You know what I'm saying? Buy something. I own 2 properties. I know what I'm talking about. I'm walking, living this. I was on parole and bought 2 properties in less than 30 days. I kept listening to people telling me, oh, you got a record, you can't do this, you can't do that, you couldn't get a job. And truthfully, I couldn't get a job. So I said, I'm gonna make a job for myself. Now I just sit back and collect checks. You know what I'm saying? I'm skipping and dancing to the bank one. So my whole thing is, my whole goal in this nation is to teach. They say each one teach one. I disagree. I say each one teach many. Well, I'm gonna stop at one person. You know what I'm saying? They said many are called, but only few are chosen. Those who are chosen chose themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you only see a few people out here. Those are the ones who step up. We gonna automatically know who the true and living is by those who constantly coming and adding on. Our whole goal is the babies. But every time I go to a parliament in New York, I see a whole bunch of old motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Old cats sitting around in school talking about the good old days. Come on, man, them has-beens. What you doing now? It's now nation of end, my supreme alphabet say. You know what I'm saying? Love, hella right. You know, what programs they got going on for the school? Every time I go there, I mean, they can't even name 2 or 3 that go on consistently every week. We plan on having big brother and sister programs, like brothers like ourselves that's been having knowledge of the streets. You know what I'm saying? Something to share with the youth, because they caught up in the streets. They see the big drug dealer with Rams on his truck and all that, Cadillac Escalade, but the man driving on E. You know what I'm saying? Getting loans, messing up his credit to get that. I'd rather get a loan than get a house. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather catch the bus, but I got a house, I got a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he can lay in his truck, but the repo man coming soon. So that's what I'm thinking. That's all what I'm about, man. We just teaching the babies out here, and that's just brief history. Called it C-Medina. I named it that in the late 80s. For the simple fact is this: it's C-Medina in the beginning, it'll be C-Medina in the end. It's gonna always be C-Medina. It's not even gonna end to this. You know what I'm saying? Because what's have a beginning must have an end, but C-Medina is the science of this. That means intelligent land of intelligent warriors. Chicago is known for just aggressiveness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna talk about the Italians, Al Capone, but we can look at the blacks, from the Blackstone Rangers to the Vice Lords to the El Rookins to the whole 9. You know what I'm saying? Although I don't agree with all that, because all they did was destroy our babies. You know what I'm saying? With that nonsense, with that crap. But they claim in the beginning they was all about the community, but they was extorting black businesses. But see, our gang spread it to different states. So this is the land of intelligent warriors. We warriors out here. We intelligent brothers, C-Medina. And when you really look at it, let's look at the history of this nation. Yeah, the father came. He came to Harlem and shared the knowledge. But if it wasn't for that knowledge, where did he get that knowledge from? It was a collaboration of Farad and Elijah. If it wasn't for that collaboration of Farad and Elijah, it wouldn't be no Panthers. It wouldn't be all that other stuff that's out here that's going on. So the first city he went to was the Mecca, the original Mecca. That's the first city he came peddling silk, Farad. Then they fled from the hypocrites to the second city from Mecca is what? Medina, C-Medina. Some cats came on the scene in 1997 from Urbana, Champaign, Illinois, country, and talking about some sea god. You know what I'm saying? Don't you want to come here and see Earth? The planet is 3/4 of water, wisdom. You know what I'm saying? We named our body, our planet, you know what I'm saying, feminine names. What's sea god? Don't they want to come here and see Earth? And then they didn't even last 3 years or 3.5 years, just like Farad came and left. Where you see them brothers at now? They somewhere just selling drugs, some gang chief somewhere. One brother ratted on his, I ain't saying no names again, one brother ratted on his own physical blood brother and turned state's evidence for less time. You know what I'm saying? Where them cats out now? They hit the scene. When they hit it, it was hard. And they made a mistake. They got a school. The flag was wrong in the school in the name of self. I mean, who we coming in the name of? Is it a nation of gods and earth? The name of Allah was self. So at the same time that was their established crumbled and failed.
God, you said they called it in the name of self?
In the name of self was on a flag on the school, and it was called the Show Improved Youth Center. I told them all that was bogus and the name that they named the city, and I never came back. You know what I'm saying? Just like Farrakhan, man, when Imam Wallace Uddin Muhammad started losing the farmland when he took over, started losing the bank and all the property. He didn't snap on Wallace. All he said, look, Wallace, I don't agree with you, I'm up. I told them cats I ain't agree with them. So I started all over again. And now we strong. Where they at now? They ain't nowhere around here. You know what I'm saying? And we multiplying. Brothers always coming to the classes or the parliaments and they receiving supreme mathematics. So we teaching out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm peaceful now. Today's mathematics knowledge build all being born to born. You know what I'm saying? As I stated, I use my knowledge as a sword, as to cut through ignorance and negativity, all the lies and the deceit. I use that same knowledge that I use to cut through to build or destroy. You know what I'm saying? That or is in there to let me know I got a choice. Depends on he or her individual I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I can destroy, come at them destroying all the boys. If they want a sword swing, I can destroy. Or if they want to learn, I just come at them building. But it's a choice, that's why the or is there. You know what I'm saying? All being born to born. Born is what I manifest, what I bring into existence. You know what I'm saying? Intellectual properties from my thoughts, from my mind. So I'm peace. But come back to me again, I got some more for you.
Peace.
All right. Yeah.
Peace.
Say your thing.
Peace. My righteous name is Asiatic 19. My real name is Brandy. I had talked to Allah Jihad a couple times on the phone, and he said to come on out here. I'm trying to get out here for like a couple weeks just to see what y'all about and just say peace and just build and just learn and stuff like that. And I don't know what else to say.
Today's math, building all that.
What's the day's math? What's the day's math? Y'all tell me what's the day's math, because I'm new in this.
Today the 18th.
Okay.
Oh, the day the 18th, so it's knowledge born. No, knowledge build.
Knowledge build destroy.
Knowledge build destroy.
All being born.
Knowledge build destroy, all being born. What he said right there. That's the day's math.
All right.
It's there.
It's all right. You say what you know. That's all.
So I rap and I'm into hip hop, and that's about it. Say peace to everybody back home. Thanks for the Grammy trophy and things like that.
How you hear about Nation of Gods and Earth?
Oh, my name is, let's see, Asiatic 19. Asiatic because the original man is Asiatic black man, and 19 because the 1 stands for God, and like the 9 is for the birth and the woman because it takes 9 months for her to have a baby and stuff like that. And plus there's 9 planets up in the solar system wrapped up in a womb of darkness, so that's kind of equivalent to like the black woman.
Okay.
And since the Asiatic man, the whole land, was Asian, so I'm here. I'm just large like that. Nah, but I guess that's it.
Okay.
So how you see I see knowledge is God.
Yeah. Knowledge is God because I really know how to break it down. It's just I was taught like this. One, like that's the equivalent mathematically to God. You understand what I'm saying? It's like he was the first one here, and he willed himself into existence, and we from him, and stuff like that.
Okay.
One day you gonna look at this tape and you gonna be laughing at this shit.
Y'all ain't telling me this. I mean, y'all ain't stopping me and nothing that's going on.
That's peace, dog. That's peace. That's peace. Nah.
Just be yourself.
That's
dog.
peace.
Just be yourself, man.
Nah, but
I ain't got no problem. You know, I like to be in front of cameras, podiums.
I'm kind of camera shy though. But yeah, like I came out here, you know, like with my man Nikhil and like his family, just to, you know, peep out the gods and stuff like that in the earth and just build and just, you know, just try to learn and stuff like that. Because let's see, I guess since '93, I was introduced to like the Nation of Islam, you know, like the teachings of, you know, like Elijah Muhammad and stuff like that. So I guess from let's see, '93 until now and stuff, you know, like I've been studying that. But like we also ran, well, like we had ran into like some 5%ers and stuff, and like they had talked to us and stuff like that. And like then we had got some books. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous.
Just act like it ain't even on, like the Barry went there.
You a rapper, you an MC. You
I know, but it's just
Go ahead.
Nah, but well, you know, all right. Let me start over from '93. We had ran into this brother named Kevin Muhammad, and he had dropped some knowledge on us. So you know, like we've been involved with that, you know, like the nation and stuff. Most of my friends, obviously, you know, like up in the Nation of Islam and stuff like that. And like then we ran across some people from York's camp and like some 5%ers and some Hebrews and everybody, and so you know, like we just been like learning and stuff, you know, like what we can and just trying to, you know, better ourselves and stuff like that. And basically, I just kind of see, you know, like if you had knowledge yourself, you know, like you could like help yourself and also, you know, like help your family, help your community and stuff like that. You know, like instead of us being at odds with the nation, the 5%ers, and you know the Wabians, like they don't like Noble Drew lead people, and the Hebrews don't like the 5%ers and stuff like that. I mean, you know, I kind of see, you know, like we got to save the youth and like the babies and stuff like that, because, you know, like that's a critical thing right now, you know, like the condition of our people, and, you know, it ain't getting any better. When I was up in DC, like then I ran into like some 5%ers and stuff up there, you know, like they was like dropping some stuff on me too. So it's just like, you know, everywhere you go, like you meet people who got knowledge or I guess who's just trying to better themselves and stuff like that. So like I guess if we just all stay in the struggle and like not get arrogant about it and just try to stay humble and just try to, you know, fight for our people. Malcolm X had said one time, when we come to fight for our people, you know, like we should leave our like religion up in the closet and stuff like that. So like we just like deal with the issues like of black people and stuff like that, and just try to get up out of the condition we in. Like then we march in the White House and start bucking down like blah blah. No, edit that out.
My question is, what's your goal in this nation? What you trying to achieve in this?
To tell you the truth, I don't know. I just came out to like learn and build and just basically just learn and just I guess like add what I could add on, you know, even if I have anything like to add on and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to learn and build, and hopefully what I learned I could like share with somebody else, and like they could be, you know, inspired to learn more, or, you know, grab a book or something like that, or I guess just try to better themselves and stuff. I guess, you know, but I should say I guess, but you know, like that's what it is, you know what I mean? Just like that. So, you know, like I'm just here to learn and just, you know, play my part or whatever like that. Then when the cops come, you know, like it's on. Want y'all chicks, want y'all something, you know?
Since you a rapper, kick a short verse or something, man. Turn in some knowledge.
Wow. Freestyle or something?
Man, whatever you got, man. Whatever you feel is your best material or whatever, just, you know. Don't kick us nothing played out that you done rolled in the 80s and shit.
Yeah, boys. Nah,
look at Lassie. Put the camera on Lassie. Check out Lassie. Yeah. Alright. Not that long now. We don't get Lassie all the attention. It's too much attention, Lassie. Yeah, you can kick a verse for us.
I'm about to kick something. It might be kind of weak because I ain't freestyling in a while, but this is a freestyle just coming off the top of the dome. Like my man holding the Canon picture camera. I slam you. The black man is God. I walk through the streets like Farad. This is Jihad. You can call me Allah. Akbar, opening you up like the Fatiha. Swing guitars like a scimitar. Call me Asiatic 19, supreme human being. I rock y'all, cock back and bust y'all. Brandy Gilliam, forget the wordplay or the gunplay. I let the verbal spray. It's the verbalist. Y'all wanna get this? I wake up your death wish. This is the Black Panther, Nuwabi and more. Black man, Asiatic, down with the nation of Islam and a nation of gods. I stump hard, crack concrete. I can't be beat. Acapella with no beat. I'm like Spider-Man swinging through trees, but without the tight pajamas. I bust shots at your commander. I'm rocking y'all. And I guess that's all.
Jihad, she gave birth. Born to exist means I'm God ever since I was a fetus. Knowledge this. Supreme being for the all I sin, but my earth got bold. She killing my seeds using birth control. Another dead soul. I'm teaching my wisdom about her culture and freedom. No longer blind, deaf, and dumb. Nah, just one. Power equality, now the blind now see mean to understand trick knowledge of the grafted man. Power refinement, 5%ers, I found it. The moon reflects the sun, which is knowledge and wisdom. And onto the stars, and Mecca's the holy Kaaba. That Sister Mason coming Eastern Star, Allah Jihad. Dropping knowledge, and I never been to college. To all the gods, they say knowledge, knowledge. That's a whack ass album they made out there.
Peace. How y'all feel?
West made a whack album.
Beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank y'all for inviting us out.
Hey, y'all eat
Something
good?
to
Take
eat.
the place back with you?
Definitely. It's always a pleasure to come out and build with brothers, man. Especially on something conscious. And trying to turn things around, man. Take it back to the original ways. Especially in the days we live, we're dealing with major issues, violence in the streets, AIDS, unemployment, and all that goes back to just doing something for self. Because when you're in somebody else's house, you can never really make the rules, man. So until that day happens, things like this will help offset that. So like I said, it's always an enjoyment to come out with brothers who are trying to do something better for themselves and pass information on. And I look at life like this, everybody's got a little piece of the puzzle. Everybody has some information the next man doesn't have. And you can just pass it on, you know what I mean? Sometimes we get selfish with it and we act like, we got all the information, which is impossible. Just like with the original man, if Allah, if the black man is God in flesh, and every 25,000 years the history has to be rewritten, that just means right there that there's scientists that are involved in it, so each one has a different particular task that they have to deal with. Not just one scientist, but you got 24 of them. So my whole thing would be is as long as we have these meetings with all these different brothers and sisters, that we go and apply ourselves. And we open up these schools and we get these businesses and get this land that we need, so then we can be self-sufficient. And because until then, nothing's really gonna run the way it needs to be. Just like my man said, what good is to lease somebody's house or rent from somebody whenever they want you to leave, you gotta go. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it right there, man. Just let us just build, man, and make sure that these meetings aren't in vain, man, that we actually put something behind it when we get done with it. We keep our word, and our word's supposed to be bond anyway, and just destroy all the misconceptions. And like I said, the number one thing with all of us, destroy our egos. You know what I mean? Because usually that's what gets everything messed up. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. I've been studying for 20 years, It don't matter if a young brother just came on the scene yesterday, but he got the right spirit. He needs to go ahead and do what he needs to do. And we sit back as older brothers, man, and give him the guidance. But, that's all I'm saying, man. Myself, in particular, in this nation, my desire is to get farmland, to open up some businesses, and educate the young people, man. And do something while I'm still young, before I get too old and I can't move about. You know what I mean?
All right.
So that's love, man.
Peace. Just right here. Just want to take y'all through take you to the table. Just right here, we got some veggie bastiani. We got chicken bastiani. Y'all hear what we're playing over here, right?
What the hell is he talking about?
Then we got the queen up here.
All right.
Peace. How you feel?
Feeling good.
All right. So what's going on? How you see life today?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
My name is October, and I don't know. All the sisters need to unite. I was a member of the Nation of Islam. What year was it? 99 for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got some good information in there. Got some instruction and training. So, but it was kind of restricted, and it was kind of just it was more politics. So we've just been studying everything from Dr. York to 5%ers, just different things. Hebrew Israelites came across a lot of information. So we basically just, try to treat others as we treat ourselves, all for the black community, trying to build, get all the sisters together, quit acting stupid, definitely to teach the children, just to raise the nations. Just being the women, we definitely have to stop, all the foolishness, all the, artificialness and everything. That's about it. Just studying.
Peace. That's good. That's real. We out here in Harold Washington Park. This is Harold Washington Park. It's South C-Medina.
Right.
Southeast. We right here on the lake. That's right off of Lakeshore Drive.
Beautiful day.
It's very.
Hold on. Let me get this.
Doing things. Make
Uh-huh.
sure you got the light. Peace.
Peace, God. What's your name?
Reality Black Sword Allah.
Where you from?
Medina, God.
Which Medina?
Medina, Brooklyn, God. The only Medina, God.
How you see your name?
Reality Black Sword Allah. Reality, God, is that which is real. That's which we exist in each and every day in life. Black is that which is original. The sword is a secret word, a swift word, a strong word, a sacred word. The sword is an emblem of justice that was used by the original man's time to take the devil off the planet, which is used every day. I use the tongue as a sword. Allah is the arm, leg, supreme head, which is man, the most highest being in the universe. Today's mathematics, God, is knowledge built to destroy, all being born to born. Knowledge is to know. Build to destroy is a process of development. So anytime I'm dealing with something, God, especially when I'm dealing with life, we understand that life has to go through what? A process of development, a process of growth and change. So I make sure that I know what stage that particular object that I'm studying is in, so that I can bring forth what? Bring forth life anew. Bring forth the new change, bring forth the new environment, bring forth something to add on to my circumference, God. I'm out here in C-Medina.
Yo, how long you been here, God?
Been here for 1 full year. 1 full year to this day.
1 full year. So what about all that controversial shit you heard about Allah Jihad being a snake, the devil, serving physical and mental justice on cats out here, not doing brothers and sisters right? How you see that? What did you see for yourself when you came in?
Let me tell you, before I even came out here, there was plenty of controversy surrounding C-Medina. There was plenty of controversy surrounding Allah Jihad. There was plenty of controversy surrounding Ebony Joy Asiatic. I came out here, I had to do the knowledge for myself. In fact, before I came out here, me and the God Allah Jihad, we used to get into it, and it was like, all right, we're gonna go out here and we're gonna build. After meeting, running into the God, having a chance to build with the God, tell you what, out of the gods in here, and those that had all the controversy surrounding them, this is the true and living God. Allah Jihad was the true and living God, show forth to prove that for himself. So, in this day and time, I tell everybody that God got a great heart and he got great intentions and he out here building. In fact, had he not been building when I came out here, there would not be any parliaments, there would not be any schools, there would not be any 120 classes. What else you got? Give me another question. In fact, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Right out here, we building in the middle of this park. We dealing with life on a day-to-day basis. We got God. See, all this right here is new for me. All this is new for me. This whole nation. Out here, the nation is being tempered. It's really tempered by you got that gang mentality that's really strongly rooted inside of Chicago, or what the gods call C-Medina. Well, the challenge is being able to get brothers to rise above that mentality, to see that by being God that you have taken a step above and beyond what we've been set out here and been forced to do. And we've been guided to deal in devilishment, to destroy one another. And what we're dealing with right now is we're in the process of rebuilding, so-called rehabilitation. Brothers is out here addicted to other forms, other forms of stimulation and forms of life that were not good to them, but which were very addictive and very exciting. What we're trying to do is rehabilitate the minds and bring these brothers back into the knowledge of themselves so that they can save themselves. And this is something that's a very serious situation and a very serious challenge.
What part of C-Medina you reside at, God?
God, I'm on the west side, out there by Cicero and Gladys. This is like about as far west as you can go in C-Medina.
What's the science with those guards out there in West C-Medina?
I'm gonna tell you, C-Medina, the west side of C-Medina, period. Whether it be guards, whether it be 85ers, it's a tough way of life out there, God. So I mean, you got a lot of poverty. Poverty's real heavy on that side. You got a police state where you got cameras hanging up on top of telephone poles and police flashlights that are constantly flashing on top of those poles, reminding you that somebody is being watched. The guards out there aren't C-Medina, they simply were not grounded in this nation properly. Which means that they don't understand the basis of supreme mathematics. They don't understand the purpose of supreme mathematics, or how to apply supreme mathematics to life so that they can become the sole controllers of life and be the producers rather than the products of their environment.
And this West C-Medina, right?
This is West C-Medina, God. This is all over. At the same time, this is all over. All right, it's not simply restricted to the side of the west side of C-Medina. This is all over the world. But we got guards on the west side of C-Medina. They need to actually come back and start all over again, because a lot of the education that they received was wrong. Therefore, it fostered the growth of misconceptions. Those misconceptions have led to dissatisfaction. The dissatisfaction leads to devilishment and weakness. So we cleaning that up, man.
Black man strong again.
Peace.
God, how you see yourself in this nation as far as your goal? What's your goal in this nation, God? What's your purpose?
No, I got responsibility, man. I got big responsibility, see? So me, by having mathematics, at the time that I got supreme mathematics, I was doing a lot of devilishment, getting into a lot of trouble. Even when I had this knowledge, even when I knew what was better, I was still going through a lot of the same thing that these knuckleheads are dealing with on a day-to-day basis because I was young. Through supreme mathematics, to understand that I'm God, that my mind's supreme, I was able to take responsibility for that. There was no white man that was out there making me do those things, that was setting up the conditions for me to fall victim to, because if that was the case, I'd still be there today. I had to accept the responsibility that if I want change, then I've got to make the change. So therefore, that led me to school. The father he always taught that we needed to be in school or we needed to get a job. For me, it was going to school. I left now why and went all the way to Allah's kingdom, which for those who do not know is Alaska. Inside of Allah's kingdom, I got 2 degrees. I got a degree in natural sciences, a degree in psychology. It was through the studying of lessons, through the way that I studied my lessons, through that precision with the lessons, I applied that into the educational realm. Taking that knowledge, I was able to succeed there and end up being recruited for graduate programs. So now I'm in C-Medina at the University of Illinois, Chicago, about to get this PhD in cognitive science. But this right here, all this right here has been based on the science of mathematics, because had it not been for mathematics and to the application of mathematics, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So what I'm here for today is to give back, and that's what it's all about. Talk about, a lot of brothers went out here, they take this knowledge and they act like this knowledge is their own, and that they can sit here and go against the goals of the nation. And the goal that is part of the goals of the nation is to be able to teach people who they are, the knowledge of themselves, the righteousness, civilization, the science of everything in life, love, peace, and happiness. So what I do, God, I come out here, I make sure I give back. I give back to the nation by attending events, by making sure when I come, I'm prepared to build. I'm taking my experiences, my lessons, bringing them to share with brothers and sisters out here. I take that for what I'm doing in school, is being able to, this is what I study, dog. I study the way that people think in the realms of, in the domains of mathematics and science. So what I try to do is try to produce technologies that can facilitate the enhancement of people's understanding of mathematics and science at deeper levels so that we can have more mathematicians, more scientists, so that people understand that they have more options other than having to work inside of a grocery store or sell clothes out here on the corner. God, stay focused. We out here trying to build, God. So what I want to do is I want to be able to add on to the school, add on to educational programs, and bring something solid and foundational for the babies. Peace.
What's today's mathematics, God? You see that?
I went to today's mathematics, God, but how I see today's mathematics is this. First of all, today's mathematics is knowledge, build, and destroy, all being born to born. Knowledge is to know, build and destroy is to develop, and born is to bring forth life anew. How do I see that? For me, that means that in order for me to approach any new thing, I have to have knowledge of that thing. In order for me to take that thing and assist it in its growth and development, I have to have that knowledge. And once I have that knowledge, I can help it develop in such a way that it borns itself in a completion, borns itself in a proper fashion. Peace. And how you see today's mathematics?
Peace.